our society, growing one's own food has become the most radical of acts. It is truly the one protest that can and will change the corporate powers that be. By directly working in harmony with nature, we do the one thing most essential to change the world. We change ourselves. What I've just quoted for you all above is a quote from Jules Jervis on growing one's own food. Hello, my name is Sophie Truckner, and growing one's own food has interested me ever since I became pescatarian. I've been pescatarian for at least 2.5 years now, and since I stopped eating meat, I've taken classes, read many books, and talked to a number of educated people on their relationship with food and what it actually means to be healthy. Becoming pescatarian was the first thing that really opened my eyes to different types of food and different qualities of food. In the quote above, Jules Jervis states that by growing one's own food, we change the world by changing ourselves. By just changing how I ate, I can now see how I changed myself. However, many do not see that by just changing what they eat, they can change themselves. An American journalist, author, and activist, Michael Pollan, wrote in his 2009 book, In Defense of Food, an Eater's Manifesto, that what we're eating now isn't really food. The foods that we find in the supermarkets are not food at all, but food-like substances, novel products of food science that often come in packages. It is a known fact that obesity in adults and children is an ongoing problem in America. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, also known as the CDC, about 42.4% of American adults were obese in 2017 and 2018. Around that same time, the CDC found that about 18.5% of children and adolescents were obese as well. We all know that eating healthy and having good eating habits can help improve our health and prevent against chronic illnesses and diseases like heart disease, cancer, strokes, and type 2 diabetes. But the World Health Organization states that at least 80% of heart diseases, strokes, type 2 diabetes, and up to 40% of cancers would be prevented if we ate better. Not having good eating habits and eating unhealthy has psychological as well as physical impacts. In American society, there has been labels associated with certain foods as either good or bad. Sadly, these labels extend to the people who eat those foods as well. There's a stigma about those that have larger than average size bodies. The stigma is that if one has a larger than average size body, they have somehow failed. And this stigma leads to feelings of shame, guilt, depression, and can play a role in eating disorders. When people find out that I'm pescatarian, one of the first things they ask me is, "Do you miss eating meat?" I reply with, "No, I've gone so long now without eating meat that I've forgotten what meat actually tastes like. And I have a lot of meat substitute options available to me that, to me, taste what I believe meat should taste like. And they're a lot healthier than meat from fast food joints." However, one doesn't have to become vegetarian, pescatarian, or even vegan to be healthy. Pollan's first 3 sentences in his In Defense of Food, an Eater's Manifesto, states, "Eat food. Not too much. Mostly vegetables." To go back to the basics is all that we really need. Many have heard of the food pyramid. Well, Harvard Public School of Health wrote The Nutrition Source. This article talks about a healthy eating pyramid, which is just another version of the food pyramid. This healthy eating pyramid lists healthy things that people should get at the store and eat to be healthy. This list includes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy proteins like fish, beans, and chicken. Most of the items on this list are basic ingredients, simple things that our grandparents would eat. Now, some might argue that it's too expensive to eat healthy. I understand that money is an issue, especially for college students. But one doesn't have to buy from the organic section. No one needs to buy organic fruits, vegetables, or meats to be healthy. In fact, if one goes to the local farmers market, not only do they support the farmers, they're good quality, cheap, and have discounts or other ways to help those with money issues. According to the BellinghamFarmers.org/food access, they offer senior discounts, and they accept and have access to different food programs and grants for those that money is really an issue. So if money really is an issue, I'm sure that this and other farmers markets will help those in need. I decided to become pescatarian near the end of my freshman year in college. In the beginning, I ate a lot of veggies and a lot of pasta, but I didn't eat a lot of protein. I was so used to either eating a burger, chicken, or some other type of meat that I didn't know what my non-meat options were. As a pescatarian, I still eat fish, so I started getting more fish and learned that there were much more options than just shrimp and tilapia. So I explored those options. I ate flounder, red snapper, and even swordfish. And after taking a nutrition class and doing some research, I realized that eggs, apart from being a protein, had a great source of iron. And I began to substitute chips for cashews. And when I began to substitute beans for taco meat, was it then that I really began to explore my non-meat options, like tofu and vegan meats. None of us want to end up with a chronic illness, or heart disease, having a stroke, getting cancer, or having type 2 diabetes. All we have to do to prevent all these nasty things from happening is eating better. Like I said earlier, one doesn't have to become pescatarian, vegetarian, or even vegan. And no one needs to shop in the organic section. To be healthy, all one needs to do is eat a fair amount of fruits, vegetables, and healthy protein. My dream is to see people making active change. To show the future generations that fruits and vegetables are good, and that simple meals are good, and not to rely on junk just because it's convenient and cheap. If we keep relying on fast food junk, then the chronic illnesses will increase. Obesity will increase. Type 2 diabetes, strokes, and heart diseases will increase. Although the average human lifespan is about 78 years old, according to CDC, if we keep eating unhealthy, this lifespan will decrease. Now, as a pescatarian, I get my protein from a variety of sources: eggs, fish, meat, and vegan sausage. I also make sure I add in vegetables to at least one meal, if not more. and I try to switch out unhealthy snacks for healthy ones. Now, I don't completely take junk out of my diet. No one is perfect, and I most certainly am not. But I make an active process to try and eat healthy, to try and exercise, and to overall try and take care of my body. The CDC recommends that adults should eat at least 1.5 to 2 cups of fruits and 2 to 3 cups of vegetables per day. Now, this amount may change based off sex and age, but trying to get that much fruit and vegetables into one's diet per day is very hard. And I'm not saying that that's what we should do this. It would be great if eventually we could. However, I don't expect everyone to immediately switch out unhealthy snacks and replace them with fruits and vegetables. What I am hoping to happen though is for people to start thinking about what they're putting into their body. And maybe, with baby steps, begin to incorporate less junk and incorporate more healthy snacks, like fruits and vegetables. By just taking these little baby steps and being more mindful, we begin to see a change with our relationship with food. And then we see a change in ourselves. I'll leave you with one last quote before I leave. This quote is also from Poland. Don't eat anything your great-grandmother wouldn't eat. Thank you.